Hiya folks, this is me. I apologise about the new camera angle, but as you can see by my face, the lighting's awful in there. Greg, I've got to get myself a lighting technician, mate. So I've twisted you round to another angle, so hopefully I can avoid a bit of it. It's a nice day out, so we mustn't knock it. Today's offering is going to be about one of my favourite bands on the planet. I've been a fan of these since the beginning, and I wouldn't say they're my favourite thrash band or crossover thrash or whatever you want to call them, but they must be close. I'm a big fan of early Sepultura as well, but this album I was doing like a top 5 thrash bands would definitely be in the top 3. They're also one of the most influential bands on the planet as well, because a lot of the new thrash bands or a lot of later thrash bands cited these as a major influence. Have you guessed who I'm talking about yet? I'll give you another clue. They were formed in '84 in New York. Excuse me if I've got the date wrong, but yeah, it's Nuclear Assault. And what I've been doing is, I'm not a completist by any means, but with all this lockdown I had some birthday money, and I was missing a couple of vinyls, and I ended up buying 3 that I was missing. And I really shopped around, and I got them really cheap. In fact, one I've shown you, I doubt you've seen a needle. It's still got the advertising paperwork inside and everything, but it's just a fantastic band. Scott Waters held one up on his channel. I think it was his last video, and I bought that for a song. It was very cheap. You're about to see that as well. Also, I apologise, but I think I'm missing one of my CDs. I can't find it anywhere, but I know I've got it. It's probably been outplayed, and I'll put it somewhere, but it's definitely in the room. But it's mainly my vinyl I want to show, because as I say, it's been a bit of an ambition of mine to own what I'm about to show you on vinyl. And I am 3 albums missing, but I'm not really that interested in getting them for reasons why I'm not going to explain. And these albums are in chronological order, so as they came out. But I think I'm missing the first EP, but it's in my collection when I've got them, and so I've done my best with it. But I don't think you can get the early stuff. That's really expensive. The first one, I think this was their second EP. This is Nuclear Assault's The Plague, and it's an absolutely cracking record. Basically what happened was, Dan Lilker used to play with Anthrax, and I think he did 3 years with them. And basically he left or was kicked out or whatever the reason, but he ended up in Nuclear Assault. There's a lot of reasons why, but it's what happened in the earlier bands. There was some disagreement or somewhere, because he wanted to pursue a more aggressive sort of style of music. We'll go with that one. If anybody knows anything better, that's what the comments were invented for. But basically the band he created was this band, Nuclear Assault, and this EP is a classic. It's a belter, and you won't get much better than this. The relationship between the drums and bass is just mind-blowing. I've probably listened to this about 20 times in the last fortnight. It's that good. It's just like how every thrash album you buy wants to sound. It's just unreal. The next one this sort of merged into the next one, and that was this classic as well. This is an absolute classic, and sorry about the glare, but it's Game Over. And again, it's an absolute killing album. What I love about it is the interludes. You get some funny music, and it just enhances the album. Normally, to me, it would destroy an album. It just enhances the album. If you don't know, folks, I'll give you a little history lesson. The early thrash albums in England and all over the world, there was a competition. Shall we go nuclear power, or shall we stay as we were? And then I think it was about 86 when Chernobyl went, and that sort of, everybody was sort of saying, oh, it's dangerous, this nuclear power and all this stuff. And that's when a lot of the thrash records were being made. That's why you got power stations on the front of these records. and it was about nuclear power versus the old style of power. And other things he used to sing about was the environment as well. But this album is game over. It's an absolute classic. And Glenn Evans, John Connolly, and Anthony Bramante and Dan Lilker, absolutely killer album. Again, I'm not going to talk about it. You know, it's just amazing. Plus, I want to concentrate on the later ones. Plus the fact I've already shown these as well in a couple of videos. Now the next one that came out was this record, and I think this was a new. I think this was a new one I bought as well. Yeah, this I've now. This is the next one. This is Survive, another cracking album. Again, Power Station on front. You've got the skeleton above, probably telling us the evil of nuclear power. It's just another killer album on the under one flag. Great cover, and there's a nice picture of the band. And I'll just check there's not anything in it. No, but the beautiful thing about it as well, this cover is absolutely immaculate. Look, it's absolutely. I've never seen one as white as this. It doesn't look like this album's been out of a cover much. But yeah, you got all the usual stuff, information, thanks, and you got the lyrics of thanks and all this stuff. But this is spotless. I don't, seen it the light of day, but I may be wrong. Well, it has, because I played it the other night. But it's just killer thrash metal, crossover metal, or however you want to describe it. Once you get into this band, you'll be absolutely addicted. I tell you, it's just phenomenal stuff. The next one I'm going to show you is the next album they did, and this one just came through the door this morning. In England, it retails for quite an expensive price. I picked this one up for £15, I don't mind saying, but it was my bargain of a lifetime. The seller says it's just been stored. He was honest. He says never ever been probably played. He just bought it and stored it. And that's this one, Handle with Care. Again, talking about the planet and saving the earth and all this stuff. And you got them songs at the back, all killer songs. Nice picture of the band, and it's just an amazing release. These albums, if you want to get into Nuclear Assault, which I'm showing you, are the essential ones. And with this album, this is what impressed me. Look, you've still got that in it, and yeah, it smells right as well. This is probably hasn't seen a case either, or it probably hasn't been out much. But no, it's blank there. I don't know why I'm showing you that bit. Come on, Zulu, pull yourself together. But you notice I'm not talking much about the band, is because I don't want to take up too much time. These videos could go into half an hour. But you've got the collage there, and you've got the bit and bees there, and it's just fantastic record. But these three records, if you want to go into, don't start with the later records. These three are the essential, to me, the three essential Nuclear Assault albums. Because after, I think it was 91, Lilker left, and they did three more after that. I think he rejoined, he sort of left and he came back. But I've never heard any of the later stuff. If you've got any opinions below, if you like it or not, what you think of it. I nearly pulled the trigger on one record, but I haven't sort of, got the guts to sort of listen to it, if you know what I mean. To me, these albums are the best of Nuclear Assault. As we all know, a lot of these death metal bands, and I can think of loads, were only sort of good for 3 albums, and after that they started experimenting and doing stuff. And this is why I'm showing these records, is how I want to remember Nuclear Assault, how I think they're the best. But I've shown this is Handle with Care, and it's in absolutely pristine condition, was well shot. Now the next one is what Scott showed on his last video, and that's this one. Picked it up for a song. It was Blue Moon of Kentucky by Elvis, but good one. And the reason why, it's got Happy Days, that was the Happy Days theme on the back. But again, killer record. Absolutely amazing. I haven't heard this one, tell you the truth. I didn't know this one existed till last sort of couple of years. But as I say, I've never, because of this lockdown I wasn't in the sort of position to go and look for the stuff, because obviously I had to do stuff. But now I'm sort of sat on my bottom and saving the world all day. Because in England, although they've relaxed some of the rules, we're still on lockdown. I've had more time to do this sort of stuff. But yeah, and there's this record. Now I just want to show me CDs, and I'm missing one, and I apologise, but I had the second one, but I did have it. I don't know where it is. It's here somewhere, but I just don't know where it's got to. It's probably got lost. And I've got Game Over and Handle with Care. Now this next CD does go for a bit of a premium, and I listen to this a lot. And this is this album. This was recorded at Hammersmith Odeon. Don't know what year. Probably. I'm only guessing mid-80s. If anybody knows, tell me. It's got a. I'll tell you. Probably tell you in a minute. It doesn't tell me, but I presume. Sorry about the glare, but it's got a nice collage of pictures, and it's just a killer record. And my song's called Lesbians, and another one I'm not mentioning, Trails and Tears and stuff like that. It's just, you got Game Over, and obviously you know what I've shown you. It's just a killer release. Hammersmith Odeon also got the greatest acoustics as well. That's why anybody is played there. So yeah, this is an essential album to have as well of Nuclear Assault. But unfortunately, I wish it was cheap, but it ain't. I mean, I've had this, I don't know, probably a couple of years, 3 years. But it's not a cheap buy now. I had a look at the prices of it. I was quite shocked. Anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I have. A big thank you to all my viewers and subscribers. I don't treat you as a number. I love you all, folks. I think you're brilliant. And whatever you're doing, stay safe. I know the world's gone to pot, but please stay safe, and we'll all get through this. And yeah, take care till the next time, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this little video.